What is happening, people? Hey, hope you're doing great. I know you're doing great. You know why you're doing great? Because I'm great. All right. Anyway, here we are. Welcome to 6-4. So this is kind of day 2 of elimination. So in day 1, also known as 6-3, we just use addition or subtraction, same subtract, opposite add, to figure out our solutions to our system, okay? Today, we're not going to have matching coefficients, right? So our coefficients are not going to be the same. They are not going to be opposites. We're going to have to figure out how to solve this, okay? For my step people, here you go, right? Here's what we do. Step 1 is what we have to do now. Step 1, multiply one of the equations by a constant. Say what? Multiply one of the equations by a constant. So that's what we're going to do. Once we do that, then it is identical to what we did in 6-3. Okay? So many different ways to solve this, my friends. If we look here at the first one, let's look at our coefficients. My x coefficients are 2 and 3. My y coefficients, positive 1, positive 2. Okay? I need to create matching coefficients or opposite coefficients in x or y. It literally doesn't matter, okay? I think it would be very easy to make this y into a 2y, okay? Again, we're going to multiply a number, right, through our equation. So I'm gonna choose, and this is where you got a little bit of choice here. Do you like to add your equations? Do you like to subtract? I think most of us like to add. Same subtract, opposite add. So I want to make opposite coefficients, okay? You don't have to, okay? But if I want to make opposites, I need to multiply by -2. That way I get a -2y here. But we need to change everybody, right? Or in other words, multiply everybody. It's an equation. It's that whole you got to be fair. If we're going to add 2 over here, we got to subtract 2 over here. So multiply all 3 terms by -2. So this is going to give me -4x, -2y, and yes, equals -26. Okay? Now we are literally where we were in 6-3. Do the same thing. So we have opposite, so we're going to add 3 plus -4, -1x. 37 plus -26. Is that 11? Solve for x. You get -11. Done. Don't have anything more to do, okay? Plug, substitute, -11 back in here for x. So I'm going to go 2 times -11 plus y equals 23. This is -22 plus y equals 23. We're going to add 22 to both sides, and this should turn into what? 45. Okay? Bam. Done. There we go. Okay? Oh, that's it. Okay? The only new thing, guys, is here. And look, I want to be clear. I could have chosen to multiply by 2. Okay? That would have given me 2y and 2y. Again, same coefficients, subtract. We would have subtracted here. Guess what? We still get x is 11. We still get y is 45. Okay? Let's say you wanted to pick on the x's and you wanted to eliminate those. Well, you could. Guys, there's a number that you can take and multiply 2 so that it turns into 3. Okay? It's just going to be a fraction number. And then you're going to have fractions everywhere else, but don't worry. You're still going to get the same answers. Okay? Beautiful. Onward we go. Eventually, guys, we're going to stop solving and we're just going to multiply and get to step 1. But for now, we're going to go all the way through. So, again, make a smart math choice. It's not a good math choice to try to make 7 and 5 turn into the same number. Right? Much easier for me to make this 1x into a 3x. Okay? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply here by 3. Okay? So this is going to turn into 3x plus 21y equals 36. Okay? Same subtract, opposite add. I've got the same coefficients here, so we will subtract. Be careful. 3x minus 3x goes away. -5 minus 21. That's -26. This is where you have to be careful. 10 minus 36. -26. Y equals 1. Okay, done there. Let's go ahead and figure out what x is. Now look, be clear guys, you could use this equation if you wanted when you substitute. You could use this one, but probably easiest to use this top one here. X plus 7y, again y is 1, equals 12. Okay, so x plus 7 equals 12. Subtract that 7 over there, we get x is 5. Glorious. Y is 1, x is 5, all done. Everybody's happy. Or so we think. Okay? Who's to say? I don't know. All right, look at this one. Why does this one look different? Okay, look at your coefficients. On the last two problems, I had a coefficient of 1 in it, and that made life pretty easy for me, right? Because all I needed to do was say, okay, yep, we're going to multiply this by 2, multiply this by 3, everybody's happy. Okay, here I don't have that. I've got x coefficients of 4 and 3. I got y coefficients of 3 and 5. Okay, doesn't really work. Okay, well, we got to do a little bit more work here. Again, ain't going to be fun to put those in slope-intercept form, right, and solve one of those for y because, 4 and 8, those are not multiples of 3, right? So we're going to be dealing with fractions anyway. So most of us would prefer not to work with fractions. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to multiply a number, or in this case, numbers, into both equations so that we get matching coefficients, okay? Easiest way to do that is, look, I'm just going to pick on my x coefficients, and I'm going to multiply the other equation by that coefficient. So in other words, here I see a coefficient of 4, I'm going to multiply this by 4. Here I see a coefficient of 3, I'm going to multiply that equation by 3, right? Because look, now we're going to get 12x's when we do this, okay? All right, so I'll write our new equations over here. So this is going to turn into, this is where we have to be careful, guys. 12x plus 9y equals 24. Okay, that was my first equation. Multiply the second equation, everybody's getting multiplied by 4. Also going to be 12x minus 20y equals, let's see, what is that? 80 and 12, negative 92. Okay, now we're good. Now I have matching coefficients in my x's, right? 12x and 12x. Same subtract. That's what we're going to do. 12x minus 12x eliminates. 9 minus negative 20. Be careful, that's a double negative if I ever saw one. So this is going to turn into 29y. 24, here it is again, minus negative 92. If you're not careful with your signs, this is all bad for us here, okay? So 24 minus this really just turns into 24 plus 92. And what is that? 1116, I think. Who's to say? Let's go ahead and do some dividing here by 3. I'm sorry, dividing by 29. Divide by 29. Y equals, should be 3, right? Something like that. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. Go ahead. Let's plug 3 now. You could go into one of these equations. These ones have smaller numbers, so, that's probably more better. 4x plus 3y, again, y is the number 3, equals 8. So 4x plus 9 equals 8. 4x equals negative 1. X equals negative 1/4. Sound good? Did I do everything right there? I feel like I did. Let me double check here, folks. Okay. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Do you guys see what I did wrong? Who's an idiot? Who's an idiot? This isn't 3. Who said that was 3? That's 4. Goodness gracious. All bad. Look, one tiny little mistake throws everything out of whack. Okay, bam. This has to be 4. This is now a 12. Whew. More better. See, look, sometimes things don't look right. Subtract there. This is going to be negative 4. There we go. Negative 1 and 4. Okay. And guys, this is a good scenario right here for us to learn and use elimination, right? When we get two equations in standard form, right, and we can't put one of them into slope-intercept form, well, we can put anything into slope-intercept form, but like here, you solve this equation for y. 2 and 3, not multiples of 5, right? Nor 5 and 3 multiples of 2. So any way you try to solve this, you're going to get a fraction for slope-intercept form. Okay? Once again, let's pick on the y's this time. We did x's last time. So I'm going to use my y coefficients. Flip-flop them out here and multiply. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by 5, the bottom equation by 2. This will ensure that I am eliminating my y variables. Okay? Again, multiply all the way out. 15x plus 10y equals 50. And this is 4x plus 10y equals 6. Same subtract, opposite add. Of course, we have the same here, so we're going to subtract. 15 minus 4 is 11x. My y's cancel out, and this should turn into 44. Okay, that gives me a nice number. I get x is 4. Okay, we're going to come back here. I'll choose the bottom equation, 2x, which is now 4, plus 5y equals 3. So this is going to be 8. We're going to move that 8 over here to the other side. We're going to subtract 8. 3 minus 8, of course, is negative 5, and I get y is negative 1. Beautiful. Huh? Bam. Again, guys, this is elimination. We should be very proficient, right, in solving these. Okay? Oh, no. All right. More word problems. Okay. Yep, these ones are not easy. Yep. Anytime we're talking about moving in a boat, in a plane, in a helicopter, in something, all right? Ah, man. Okay, we can solve this one. You guys ready? All right. Fishing boat travels 10 miles downstream in 30 minutes. Why would they use the word downstream? How does that help? The return trip takes the boat 40 minutes. Find the rate in miles per hour of the boat in still water. Okay. All right. Well, do we know how far we went? We did. Okay. So, guys, we have 10 miles to go. So 10 miles downstream. Great. That took us 30 minutes. The return trip was also how long, right? How long was it? It was 10 miles as well. That one took 40 minutes. Okay, so we have to figure out, find the rate in miles per hour of the boat in still water. What are my two variables? Well, here's your two variables, guys. So we're going to say x is the speed of the boat. What is y? Y is the speed of the water, or the current, right? I'll put water on here so we know. Okay. So I'm sure we can all imagine, or maybe we've been in a boat before, right? If you're just floating in a boat, right? No, you're not rowing the boat. You got no motor on. It's gonna travel in the direction that the water's flowing. We call that the current. Okay. And there's a speed to that. Right? Every river is different, okay? So if you are, just floating down in this boat, again, you haven't turned the engine on, maybe you're going a couple miles an hour, okay? Now, when you turn the boat on, you not only have the speed of the boat helping you travel down the river, but now you also have the speed of the water helping you, kind of like the daily double, you know what I mean? So you've got two of these, so you're really going faster than what you think you are, okay? The opposite happens, guys, when we come back. So now I'm going against the current, right? So the current is trying to slow me down. In fact, it is, okay? So that's why it's taking longer on the return trip. Okay. So we need to kind of know this one equation I'm going to write up here. Okay? D equals RT. All right. So this, guys, means your distance equals your rate multiplied by your time. Rate being speed, okay? Okay. Now, think about this. Do we know the distance we traveled? Do we know the rate? We really don't. Do we know the time? We do know the time, okay? So we can write these. I'm going to flip-flop them because we're used to having just our lone number at the end. So I'm going to do the rate times the time equals my distance, okay? Remember, we want to figure this out in miles per hour, okay? We're going to have to change our 30 minutes and 40 minutes. Are those hours? No, those are minutes. All right, so here we go. The rate. So we're going to go downstream first. So my speed, guys, is some speed of the boat. Again, I don't know how fast it's going, plus the speed of the current. Okay, that is the overall speed of our awesome boat. Multiplied by the time. Okay, what's my time here, guys? Well, it's 30 minutes, right? In hours, what is that? That's a half of an hour, okay? So that's why I have just a fraction here. And this equals 10 miles. Okay? I would like to clean this up a little bit. Okay? So in other words, I would actually like to distribute or multiply everything in here. So this is really just the fraction 1/2, or in decimal 0.5. Okay? So if I go ahead and, look, if I just make this 1/2 right now, and then I distribute this in here, are you guys okay if I say 1/2 y, I'm sorry, 1/2 x plus 1/2 y equals 10? Is that good with you? Okay, good, because that's what we were going to do. I would write all this down, but I don't have tons of room. So 1/2 x plus 1/2 y equals 10. My second equation is going to look very similar to the first one, but think about it, right? It's still going to be equals 10 because the distance doesn't change. What changes is my rate, okay, and my time. My rate, in this case, the water is slowing me down, right? The speed of the boat hasn't changed. We're still going 10 miles an hour, right? Here, the first trip, we were going with the water. Maybe the water's going a couple miles an hour. We're really going like 12 or 13. On the way back, if the boat's going 10, but the water's slowing me down by 2 or 3, we're really going to be going slower than that, right? So that's why we're going to subtract the current speed here. Again, 40 minutes out of 60. Okay, this is also what, guys? 2/3. Okay, so 2/3. Boy, you see what's going to happen here? This is not going to be very pretty. Okay, so distribute 2/3 in here. All right. 2/3 x plus 2/3. No, not plus. Glad somebody yelled at me. There we go. Okay, and here we go. Now we got to solve by whatever we want to. And they're saying elimination. Anybody like fractions? I know this guy doesn't. Actually, I really do. So is there a number that we could multiply to get rid of all these fractions? Sure, of course there are, okay? Maybe you know it, maybe you don't. Remember, I'm going to multiply something. Everybody's got to get multiplied, right? That's what this is all about. So let's get rid of our fractions. Let's multiply here by 2. Okay? I'm going to write my new equation over here. So 1/2 times. So this is just going to turn into x plus y equals 20. Okay? I'm going to pick 3 on this one, folks. Right? Again, that'll ensure I get rid of my denominator. This is going to be 2x minus 2y equals 30. Okay? Okay, this looks much, much more manageable now, doesn't it? Okay? Once again, we're still allowed to multiply numbers here. Guys, we haven't changed the meaning of this equation, we just change the way it looks, right? 1/2 x plus 1/2 y equals 10, and x plus y equals, it's still the same thing, okay? So we're going to choose to multiply this by yet another number, 2, because now good things will happen. I hope at least. So 2x plus 2y equals 40. Ooh, interesting here. Same subtract, opposite add. Well, which do you want to do? Because we have the same coefficients here. We got opposite coefficients here, okay? Let's go ahead and let's add, right? That might be easier for us. So 2x plus this 2x gives me 4x, right? Negative 2y plus 2y eliminates. 30 plus 40 is 70, believe it or not. I don't know if you knew that. Okay. I'm running out of room. So 4x equals 70. So we're going to divide by 4, divide by 4. X equals, let's see, that's a 30. Ooh, this is not a good number, is it? Let's see, that's 7 and bam. You guys good with that? 17.5? I think I did that right. It's late in the day. Okay. All right, so there's our speed of the boat. We need to figure out what? Doesn't even want that. It wants the still water, right? It wants the, no, I'm sorry, it does want that. It wants the speed of the boat. There you go, 17 and a half. We're all good, right? If we wanted to know the current speed, again, take any of our equations. I probably would come back over here to these just because they have nicer numbers. Plug in our 17 and a half and go from there. Okay, again, guys, got to remember this one. Distance equals rate times time. Okie dokie. Last one, helicopter. Travels 360 miles with the wind in 3 hours. Okay? This is kind of like the same thing. The return trip against the wind takes the helicopter 4 hours. Find the rate of the helicopter in still air. Okay? So remember, there's two variables here. We have H is the helicopter, W is the wind, okay? Remember, when the helicopter is flying with the wind is helping make the helicopter go faster. When the helicopter is flying into the wind, it is making it go slower because it's slowing it down. It's what we call a headwind and a tailwind, okay? All right, again, the distance doesn't change. It's still 360 miles. So we know it travels 360 miles. Again, guys, we're going to use the rate multiplied by the time to equal my distance, right? Hopefully that you can see that okay up there. All right. So we traveled 360 miles with the wind in 3 hours. So the rate is the helicopter speed plus the speed of the wind, and that took us 3 hours. Okay? All right. The return trip against the wind, which is the same distance, 360 miles, takes 4 hours. Now, if you do this, guys, this is not right. Why isn't this second equation right? Remember, this says helicopter speed plus wind speed times 4 hours. But that's not what we want, right? The helicopter speed is still the same, but now the wind speed is slowing us down. It's hurting us, okay? All right, so here we go. Let's distribute from here. All right, so I'm just going to say 3h plus 3w. 3h plus 3w, right? Over here, I'm going to say 4h minus 4w. Okay, now we solve with elimination. I think we're going to get some big numbers here. You guys okay with that? I suppose. All right, so yeah, let's multiply here and here. Again, multiply by 4, multiply by 3. Not going to screw up this one. Okay, 360 times 4. Yeah, okay. So here we go, guys. 12h plus 12w equals 1,440. Okay, 360 times 3, there we go. So this is also going to be 12H minus 12W equals 1,080. All right, so it wants, so here, let's think really quickly, guys. Because once again, the same thing happened, right? I can easily eliminate either of these just by choosing addition or subtraction. But let's figure out, what does it want to know? It says find the rate of the helicopter. So I want to solve for h. So meaning I would like to eliminate the wind speed, because then when I solve for h, that's the speed of the helicopter. If you don't do that and you find the speed of the wind, that's fine. Then you just got to go in and, okay, plug in the wind speed and figure out what h is. Easier to make a good math choice here, right? Hopefully you guys understand this. So find the rate of the helicopter in still air. So I want to leave h and eliminate w. So they are opposite coefficients. So same subtract, opposite add. We will add here. Okay? So 12h plus 12h is 24h. And we got to add all this up. Let's see. So that'll be a 0 and a 2 and a 5 and another 2. Okay? Hopefully. Who's to say that I really even added that right? I don't know. Anyway, then we just got to divide it by 24. I get 105 when I do that. H equals 105. Okay, there you go. There is your speed of the helicopter. All right. So guys, look, if these last two word problems were a doozy, along with the mixture ones, these are probably the hardest ones that they can do, right? We're going to have ones that are a little bit easier. And here's the deal. You know, we've got to be able to do these tougher ones. Hopefully you have all of this written down so that you can refer back to it. So when we have our quizzes, when we have our book work, right, and you see these problems, hey, we didn't just do all this for nothing. Go back and look at this problem and say, oh, okay, yeah, that's what we did. Okay, I got it. I can do this now. All right? So anyway, so guys, there you go. There's day 2 of elimination. All right? Hopefully you enjoyed it. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.